Europe and elsewhere, following the emergence of patriarchal religions, I'm tripping over my tongue, for which I apologize, goddess reverence survived in more subtle forms, such as in celebration of female saints and film figures. As with witchcraft, goddess reverence was viciously attacked by Christian forces during the Inquisition and Protestant Reformation. We just couldn't get a break, yo. Goddess reverence flourished in the 1970s and 80s with the rise of the feminist movement. Among its many founders were Z Budapest and Starhawk, who relinked goddess reverence to witchcraft, as well as the emerging women's spirituality movement. The emphasis of many of those participating in contemporary goddess reverence is not so much upon the emphasis of an anthropomorphic deity, as upon the seeking and celebrating of the unity and wholeness which is outlined in the heart of the goddess, as the birthright and potential of every human being. All of us, all of existence, are the divine. In order to complete this whole, by bringing back that which has been denied, I name the divine the goddess. Whoops, that just moved. I didn't mean it. One of the most beautiful contemporary hymns to the goddess, in which the deity is identified with the earth, is Susan Griffin's This Earth, which includes, I have known her all my life, yet she reveals stories to me, and these stories are revelations, and I am transformed. Now my body reaches out to her, and I know why she goes on. This earth is my sister. How we admire the strength in each other. We are stunned by this beauty, and I do not forget what she is to me, what I am to her. Gay, bisexual, and transgendered males are drawn into the contemporary goddess movement in increasing numbers, a common explanation given that they wish to explore the feminine aspect of their nature. Others focus on alliance with women struggling against patriarchal, heterocentric religions. I take it I'm running out of time.
Only a little.
9:57.
Only a little bit.
But only another fan fiction.
I don't see.
Okay, I'm good for at least now? Yeah.
All of one person.
Okay. I can't speed it up much faster, or I really will. Like, trip over my tongue and be back there going, well,
Just
crap.
skip to parts that you think are important.
It's all important.
That's why I wrote it.
What now?
I can? I love you, Lily. Okay, then I don't have to, read, like, Blossom 6.
Excuse me?
Alright, in The Goddess and Every Man. Okay.
I'm helping.
Joseph Vicker expresses his desire to reclaim the goddess within his own psyche, believing that cultivating his own femininity will help him to restore it to a fuller humanity, of which the force of patriarchal ideology has previously deprived him. This recovery is expressed through working in his garden. The garden was perhaps the one place where the men in my family could be in touch with the nurturing and caring sides of themselves. A garden is a very personal expression of the relationship with the goddess within. Her name is Demeter. Alright, I'm almost done-ish. Alright. Yeah, well, I'm over halfway done, I think. Alright. I don't remember what slide number I'm on.
Due to the startling lack of tables in this room, you can continue. If anybody is going to be doing a fan fiction contest, someone with Artist Alley.
Artist Alley.
If you would, please.
Okay, yeah. Anybody who wishes to leave may, I won't hold it against you this time. Charlotte? Alright. Witchcraft or Wicca. Although witchcraft or Wicca is, as it is often called in Joshua.
I got a phone call.
Keep going, Mark.
This is, alright. This has been confused with Satanism. It is in fact a metrical, earth-centered religion or spiritual tradition with roots in goddess reverence and in the ancient belief systems of the Celts, the Greeks, and numerous other cultures. Many witches trace its origins to shamanism, with the witch being the spiritual descendant of the shaman. Due to the persecution of its adherents, it is difficult to speculate if witchcraft was itself a clearly defined religion, perhaps consolidating in Thessaly, or if it emerged in late antiquity or the Middle Ages as a blending of the vestiges of pagan religions devastated by Christians and others. Whatever the case, it is clear that by the Renaissance, numerous paths of witchcraft existed, including those which were gender segregated and those in which all genders participated. Alright. Some paths resembling Santeria, as practiced in the Americas, sought to syncretize the older deities and spirits with manifestations representations of the biblical God, Jesus, the Virgin Mary, Catholic saints and angels, perhaps sincerely viewing them as kindred, or perhaps in an effort to avoid persecution. Most, if not all, of these traditions celebrated seasonal festivals such as Halloween, and most, if not all, practiced the arts of healing, divination, and magic. Go figure! The various paths of witchcraft were typically confused or else purposely identified by Christians and others with Satanism, as well as ritual magic.
Artist alley. The fanfiction contest is an artist alley. Are you not here for her?
Oh,
Come join
yay!
us then.
Oh, hey, I love you!
We got guests.
Come, Kaylee. Come. Alright.
Hi there, my friends.
Other
Oh,
pre-Christian
okay.
and syncretic traditions, and even with Judaism and Islam, forms of this confusion continue to be practiced into the late 20th century by mainstream theologians, as well as other academics, including numerous social constructionists, feminists, and queer theoreticians. Yeah. Okay, yeah, this is the last page on witchcraft. Alright, in general, one may say that witches of our time continue to celebrate nature, the deities and spirits of ancient cultures and ancestors. The primary deities revered are the great goddess, or one of her other manifestations, and the born god, or one of his other manifestations. The body and sexuality are honored rather than condemned, and differing from patriarchal and androcentric traditions, women often play central roles in Wicca, or the craft as it is also called. Not that terrible movie. Moreover, sacred experience is perceived as profoundly linked to everyday life and to the realm of politics, with witches playing more important parts on the environmentalist, feminist, and other such movements. Witchcraft's links to same-sex desire and transgenderism may be traced, if not to its controversial origins, at least to the late 9th century, with the publication of the Canon Episcopi, which describes women attending rites presided over by the classical goddess Artemis or Diana. I'm sorry.
You want me to read for a bit?
There is a mic.
Yeah.
There's a microphone. I was like,
Oh.
It exists. I told you it's been a long day. Alright, shamanism, which, as for those of you who didn't yet know, may be defined as a cross or multicultural spiritual pathway that stresses the interrelatedness of all life, the reverence of nature, and the recognition that we live in a world where we dwell with spirits who actively participate in our lives. Gender-variant shamans appear to have comprised a special class of shamans in numerous cultures. However, this categorical distinction did not appear to limit their functionality. What? Okay. Among several groups, not
what's the
going to even
publisher
try.
want?
For example, soft, free, gender-variant shamans were said to excel in all branches of shamanism. The same was said of female Mojave Guame shamans. In addition, certain transgender shamans were thought to be especially skilled in certain sacred tasks and arts. Some, like Kaksuma Nupika, were considered great mediators, peacemakers, and prophets. These soft shamans, wealth of skills, stretched from chants and dance to powerful healers and spirit guides who directed the souls of the dead to safe passage. And still others worked magics of both creation, divination, and destruction as well. These more advanced talents and techniques were otherwise only available to women shaman, as it was believed that men were less suited to more spiritual matters, and only by being soft could a man access these more significant feats. It was a great strength, then, to be gender variant, particularly in light of the opportunities presented that were previously nearly unobtainable accomplishments otherwise. All right, we're almost done, because that was the end of that part. All right, discussion questions, part 2. Now that we have discussed alternative religious views and their takes on homosexuality, what differences between the mainstream patriarchal religions have you noticed? Are there any similarities? How do these varied mores stand up to traditional religions? How has this made you feel? No, I am not your therapist, simply a curious participant of this bizarre panel.
Anybody?
Anybody at all? Crap, I killed you. I'm sorry. Okay, well, in that case, I will point out at least some distinctive differences between, namely that we noticed primarily within the patriarchal religions, the Triforce of North America, that at least traditionally, these religions did not have an overall positive view of homosexuality. or anyone who did not fall within these traditional assigned gender roles that we've all grown up with. And how has this made you feel? I cannot answer that. I did not pass my ESP course. So, all right. And now for some actual myths. Yeah, on slide 54. No, 46. I don't know. All right.
Does this PowerPoint have 69 slides?
Not 69, 54, 55. Something like that. No, not 69. Sorry. I was trying to decide where to start on these, and why not with an Inuit creation myth where it actually was Adam and Steve, go figure, because I refused to butcher the Inuit language in a tragic attempt to pronounce their names. So they're Adam and Steve. The end. In the beginning, the first two humans were male. They became enamored of one another and mated, which this encounter resulted in a pregnancy. Who knew that male pregnancy had basis in, history, mythology, same bloody thing, right? However, being that they were both male, the receptive partner was physically unable to give birth. Thus, lo and behold, his lover used magic to give him the means to deliver the child.
Took away his penis.
They gave him a vagina. All right.
Hey, my favorite.
Yes, Egypt. Set and Horus. Set, brother, alternatively the son of Isis, and uncle to Horus. Set is a god of sexuality, sacrifice, and the mystery of death. He is frequently depicted as a gender variant, bisexual, or more appropriately, pansexual male. His gender variance and homoerotic desires are manifested in his relationship with Horus, whom he seeks to dominate through force and trickery. However, it is instead Set who is tricked when Horus spreads his semen on Set's favorite lettuce and consumes it unknowingly.
Wow.
When they are
wanted to top him and make him impregnate.
Yep. When they are brought before the judges, it was found that Set was indeed the one inseminated, and no one was terribly surprised when he later bore Horus's child. All mythology, making the impossible possible since time unknown. Arabic. The jinn of the pre-Islamic Arabian desert were spirits born of wind or fire, neither angelic nor demonic, who in their true form were said to be hermaphroditic, and often took human lovers or spouses and assumed the sex of their chosen's preference. Truly gender-fluid lovers, they also possessed the ability to speak and understand all languages. They were shapeshifters capable of gender metamorphosis. The jinn were also linked to Muju, which I don't think I mentioned earlier, but I meant to, maybe, a concept of Arabic counterculture embracing same-sex passion, transgenderism, and mysticism. Hi, Loki. All right, Nordic or Teutonic?
I don't know. Odin took him away from me.
A discussion of gender variant mythology would not be complete without mentioning Loki, who is above all a prankster, a delightful yet sinister blend of Puck and Mephistopheles. He delights in mockery, gossip, scandal, and social chaos. Why do I feel like I'm reading your personals ad? No, seriously, like.
Delightful yet sinister blend of.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm like, are we like, is this a dating game show? I am auctioning off Loki. Sweet. A protean being, Loki experiences both gender and theriomorphic animal transformation. Yeah, about that. When Loki dons Freya's feathered cloak, he becomes, as a mare, pregnant and gives birth to an eight-legged, eight-footed Sleipnir. Okay.
You missed the part where he actually got mounted by a horse.
No, I just left that out because I'm not a fan of bestiality. One of my oldest quicks.
Not bestiality if they're both horses.
I don't really. I'm sorry, that doesn't do anything for me, even if it's Loki in horse form.
So let's do it like they do on the
Discovery Channel. I know a dance to this. This is bad. Moving on. All right. Loki's child may actually, in some veiled ways, symbolize the magical power engendered by same-sex relations. Indeed, the gift of the horse, often symbolic of the phallus, may even speak of a transference of masculinity from one male to another. Congratulations, you made it to the end. Here's some eye candy for your patience and perseverance.
Yay! Eye candy!
That'd be mommy. Daddy shipping? How did that picture get up? And yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly what's going on there, but I imagine you can fill in the blank.
He's filling in something.
The end!